Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor at M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. Here's the scene a short time ago. The Ravens introduced to this sellout crowd, and through a sea of pyrotechnics, out they came from the tunnel. We're set to go as the Ravens get ready to match up with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
The Steelers take over first and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
Check out. 1, 2, 3. Check. Watch quick.
Now a carry by the third-year man. This is Austin Eckler. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. A shotgun snap for Love. Eluding the pressure right. Now on the run. He'll throw it back deep over the middle. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11. Out of the gun, Luck. He's going to air one out. They've got his man complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A first down and then some. 36 yards. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Luck. Under pressure, and down he goes. Luck is sacked. Pernell McPhee, always a threat to find the QB, and he gets to him there.
I know there would be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Here's a throw out wide complete to his running back right side. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pre. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Brian Body Calhoun. He's coming off a 3-interception performance last week, so certainly not how he wanted to start here.
Not at all, but this is where a quarterback gets tested. This is where we find out what he has underneath that jersey, because he had a bad game last week. Can he shake off a bad start to this one and start to perform at the level he expects?
Here's a run on 1st down that doesn't accomplish anything. In fact, he's going to be tackled behind the line for a loss of 1.
No surprise there, Jadeveon Clowney with a tackle for loss. We all know how he became one of the most famous players in football, though, don't we remember?
Oh, that one play.
Yeah, that one big-time play. It was on highlights everywhere. They want to see more of that here in the NFL.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. This is Grant. He takes this from the 30 to the 34.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
On third down, Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Stephon Tuitt, the former Notre Dame man, able to record his 5th sack of the season. So on fourth down, here's Sam Cook to punt it away. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. This will be taken at the 10. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10.
At their own 27-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Well, they were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, you know what the thought process is? Interception. What interception? It didn't really happen because they gave up no points. So go back on the attack. Go back and run the offense you believe will be successful. Find your playmakers and give them the football.
On the ground, it's Eckler. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. He chalked that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's third down. Third and long, it's locked. He gets this one to Johnson. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. Barry on to punt as he gets this one away. Here's Thomas. Call that 49 yards on the punt. They do get 7 back on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Even though they might not find the number 1 seed next to their name come playoff time, there's not going to be very many teams, if any, entering the playoffs on the kind of run they're on. They're hot. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The former number 1 overall pick, Jadeveon Clowney, in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. Off the play fake, here's Jackson. Buying time to his left. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Stephon Tuitt in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. Escaping the pressure right. On the run, he'll let it go deep. Right sideline. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty. And it's 4th down.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing.
Their own 29-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their futures. They look ahead to the offseason. What spots do they maybe need to fill?
I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers, because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too.
At the 30-yard line.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now Love. Washington's got it. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Throwing is Love. And he finds McDonald. A good pick up there, 26 yards.
As far as I'm concerned, Andrew Luck can do it all. I mean, he's an underrated runner, toughness in the pocket, strong and stout. But let's face it, the money, that comes from his arm.
And smart, valedictorian of his high school class in Houston, then he goes to Stanford. He's got it all. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Now a pass dumped off to his running back. A good job defensively to hold that to 4 yards, and now it's 3rd down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed, but all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
The Steelers on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. To the air again. Lock. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jalen Ferguson in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down. Here's Jordan Berry now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And he gets off a high spiraling kick. And wow, the fair catch was signaled for and taken inside the 5-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And the Ravens will get it. 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position, backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a one-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur.
And all the way down inside the 25 before he's out of bounds. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Here's Jackson to throw. Flushed out right. He's got his man. It's Andrews. 10 yards there. Good enough for a Raven 1st down.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
On 1st down, it's Grant. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. Corey Grant, his 19th touchdown now of the season, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. Justin Tucker for the extra point. And the Ravens lead at 7-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This will be taken short. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They'll be looking to match that touchdown from a moment ago. 7-0 is the score as they begin with a first down. Oh, he's got some breathing room. 34 yards there and a first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass number. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
First down, and they stick with Eckler. He's got the first down here inside the 30 and all the way down to the 25-yard line. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a first down. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
You go touch. You got touch up there. Motion. Pop.
Running on first down, Eckler. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. They'll try the air now with Locke. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Draw play, it's Eckler. And he does not get to the first down marker as they stop him at the 19. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. 2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Short distance kick missed, no good, way wide to the right, and this score will stay right where it is. So it's an empty trip downfield there as they get a missed field goal on 4th down.
And I didn't see anything in the setup. It's a good snap, good hold.
Yep.
He just pushed it, and that one never wanted to come back.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Stephon Tuitt, the former Notre Dame man. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Now it's Jackson, forced out to his left. Looking left sideline, incomplete. Hayden Hurst, former first-round pick, the intended target, and it's 3rd down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back. But it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
There's Jackson on 3rd and long. Steps away to his left. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's Sam Cook now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over.
At their own 35-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And in a spot like this, still more than a minute, I think if you put something on the board before halftime, that would go a long way towards helping them get back into the game.
There actually is something to the psychology of the game at times, isn't there? How much better would they feel running into the locker room, as you noted, with something on the board in a positive fashion? You're exactly right. It's a great opportunity to get that done.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. On 2nd down, Eckler. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Now a first down throw. Luck being chased out left. Oh, he's trying for Smith-Schuster, but it's intercepted. Picked off at the 23. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. Oh, he's able to out-muscle him here as he pulls it in. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. They'll run on first down. Grant, and he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts, as they'll stop him with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. To throw on 2nd and 6. Jackson, and he's going to keep. Touchdown, Ravens. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the 2nd quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the 2nd half.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This will be taken very short. And they will be backed up deep, as they'll have to start the drive from the 6-yard line.
For most people, the excitement of the kickoff return is to see a long one that goes back in the opposite direction. But for the guys covering it, it's being able to stop them deep in their own territory. How about that incredible form tackle right there? Shoulder in the ball carrier, and down he goes.
They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. The Steelers signal for the 2nd of their timeouts, as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he's going to have a first down, but not sure it'll matter as the clock will continue to run. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. They'll run here with Eckler, and he's not going to go anywhere as they get him down behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 3 on what should be the final play of the first half. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. This will be taken short, and he'll be out of bounds across the 25.
Let's go. Let's go.
Meanwhile, down in Dallas, an update from there. And the Redskins there out to an early lead. That one tight to this point, and you'd have to imagine it'll stay tight throughout. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
It's a loss of 1. Brings up 3rd and 3.
Ready. Guys, it's game situation. Let's go.
Jackson looking to throw on third. Got a man. It's Brown. And he'll be out of bounds. After getting this one across the 40.
A 7-yard gain. And the Baltimore first down.
Here we go.
First and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Shoot! Mike 55. Let's go one more.
Play action. It's Jackson. This will be caught once again by Brown. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Nice big gain there from Marquise Brown, first-round pick out of Oklahoma. Of course, his cousin knows a thing or two about big catches in the NFL. That's Antonio Brown. And now Hollywood hoping to carry on the family tradition of solid production at the wide receiver position. They'll let this go for the end zone. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Here's Grant. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. DJ Chark, his 9th touchdown of the season as the Ravens push further out in front. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
This fielded at the 2. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
The Steelers take over first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper. They need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Love. Going top shot for Smith-Schuster. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. Throwing on 3rd down. Luck. He's going to look deep down the field. And Luck will be intercepted for a 3rd time. Picked off at the 36. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. Johnson was the intended receiver. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They had the double-digit lead at halftime, and they have continued to roll. They're hard to stop right now.
I think what we're seeing is an example of a team that has it figured out in this ball game. And whatever the adjustments are the defense has made,
and all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Hollywood, Marquise Brown with touchdown number 20 on the year as the Ravens push further out in front. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? and off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Tyus Bowser make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Hey, box truck. Man, I got you.
From the gun on 3rd down, Locke. And that will be incomplete. Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
Here's Jordan Berry now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, to see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. They will run with Grant. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Forcing completion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Jackson just off by Ryan Shazier. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. But they needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the 3rd quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
I think you put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender, but you also have to give your own guy a chance too.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Here's Locke. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Patrick on Wassor. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Tucker with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now. Really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, "Wake up!
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys."
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Here's Lott. On the screen, this is Eckler. The screen good for 6, but it's not enough as it leads to a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
You gonna see me in your nightmares, son. You gonna see me.
To throw is Jackson on 3rd down. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Devin Bush, the linebacker, was the one there in pass coverage.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And this one will be touchdown inside the 40-yard line.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 37-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants.
Their season starts to wind down. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They'll run out of the gun with Eckler. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. That's thrown to Smith-Schuster out wide. Too far downfield, something those linemen have to watch out for, and that time it costs them. From the gun, here's Lott. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. Give him 30 yards there. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. They'll fake it. Now Love. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Brianne Body Calhoun. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
On 1st down, it's Grant. And he'll get him a little space here up to the 5-yard line. Javon Hargrave there on the stop. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because...
And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Corey Grant with touchdown number 20 on the year as his guys continue to pour it on. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points. You feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
2nd and 10 at the 20-yard line.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10.
Let's go.
Once more, here's Eckler. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. On 3rd down, here's Eckler. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
Well, they got off the field on 3rd down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
The Ravens on 3rd down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 8. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Jackson, and he'll find Galladay. That's complete. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And give them another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
This will be taken in at the 1. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this? And this is caught at the 20. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
So they will get on the scoreboard here. Give him credit for that. Too little, too late, but no 0. Oh, you're going slow clap on me.
Not very nice, is it?
No, but they haven't been very nice on offense. It's been a struggle. And this one travels out of bounds, so unsuccessful there on the onside kick try. Baltimore with good starting field position as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line.
50. Mike 50.
From midfield now, here's Jackson. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
55, Mike, got 55. You must be dreaming. Mike 55, Mike 55. Here it comes, here it comes.
Oh, Jackson's going to throw it. He'll get this one to Galladay. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. The Ravens get a new set of downs, give them 17 on that pickup. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle.
Look at this. Middle of the field, a breakaway. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Corey Grant, his 21st touchdown of the season, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27.
Shut up.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to.
It's caught inside the 25. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game.
First down, Steelers.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Off of play action. Luck. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. Juju Smith-Schuster the target once again. And now it's 2nd down.
At the 24-yard line.
Check out. 140. You get blocked, me.
To throw is Luck. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Brian Body Calhoun. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 6-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
But, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Baltimore, a final win here means they'll finish at 14-2. And now they'll have the week off as they get set to go after a Super Bowl title. Meanwhile, for the Steelers, they wanted desperately to finish at 500, but that won't happen, as it'll be a 7-9 season in the end. And they can take solace in the fact that this team never quit all the way to the end. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.